Today on Let's Talk, we have Denise Snider from City Youth Ministries. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Can you start off telling us, please, about City Youth Ministries, because either you are well aware of it or you may not be aware of it at all. So tell us exactly what you guys do.
Great. Well, City Youth Ministries has been an icon in the Jonesboro landscape for close to 18 years. It was started years ago by a group of people, local businessmen and pastors, that wanted to provide a place, for children to have, youth and then young children as well, to come after school and have an opportunity to get help with homework and just a safe, fun place to go. We have transformed into a lot of different styles or types of outreaches and ministries. But the one thing I think that has never changed within the course of that 18 years is the overall mission or objective of reaching the children spiritually and providing the opportunity for every young person or child that comes into our doors on a daily basis to hear every day, that God loves them, has had a plan for their life before they took their first breath, and that He loves them dearly. And so I think that is, for me at least, as serving as a new director at City Youth, that is my ultimate objective for each day, for each child.
Now, how long have you been involved with City Youth?
I'm going on 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I left the classroom. I was a public school teacher for years in the Jonesboro and then the Brooklyn School District. And then I felt led to come to City Youth when that executive director position, became open.
I see.
Yeah.
So what did you expect and what did you find when you walked into this job?
Well, having been in the Jonesboro schools and working with children that attended City Youth, I was vaguely familiar with what City Youth did. I knew that there was that Christian ministry piece, but I had no idea the impact, or really the impact of the importance of what City Youth means to the children. I taught first grade, and so I knew that the children loved going because as a first grade teacher, my little ones, if it wasn't their day to go to City Youth, they were sad. They were like, well, today's not my day. And so I realized that they had a love to go and that there was a need. But what really got my heart was seeing the impact, the emotional piece of, I want to go to City Youth every day. That was the first thing that I did. I opened it back up to where the children had an opportunity to come every day, grades 1 through 6. So it kind of opened a Pandora's box just a little bit in that, we have to have the funding to provide adequate supervision,
Right.
Per child, on a daily basis. So it stretched us a lot to make that happen. It also was a little bit tedious, daunting to pick up that many children with 4 15-passenger vans.
How many children do you serve?
We have 115 children enrolled.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. And we have a highly mobile population of children. So figuring out the rhythm of what the population or what the attendance is going to be on a daily basis, it can be in the 90s, it can be in the 70s, it can be in the 50s. You never really know. But regardless of that, again, operating that with 4 15-passenger vans, picking up at 5, Jonesboro Public Schools, junior highs and high schools, it is, I equate us to Disney. We're as tight and as big a machine as those shuttles at Disney. We've got it worked out and it happens.
That's funny. That's funny.
But it takes a lot of brain power figuring it out.
I bet it does. Tell me about the things you do. Why do the kids look forward to it?
Oh, I got to tell you, I remember when I was being interviewed for the job, and one of the people on the board, one of the men on the board, asked me what my vision, for City Youth was. And again, having been a public school teacher, I knew what I wanted. I knew what they needed. And my answer was, I want to provide an after-school opportunity for the children that was as good as what my own boys had every afternoon. Mom was in the car ready to take them wherever they needed to go with a snack, ready to go and ready to create experiences, that they could hold on to for life. And you know what? The doors have opened up. The community has opened up. We have, hands down, the best programming in an after-school program, thanks to our community. First of all, as a teacher, I knew, because I lived it, I knew that there were children that didn't necessarily need help with their homework. They needed to learn how to read their homework. And so we have had the opportunity through a local business to provide funding to pay for certified teachers that come in and know exactly how to find the learning deficit, how to find where that problem is, what can we do to really help the child learn to read so that we're not just feeding them answers. We teachers can't do that.
It's funny you say that, because you just, it's been a while since I was in school, but you took me back to the moment when I realized the advanced math was a little too advanced for me. And if I'd had someone to help me catch up, I could have stayed caught up.
Yeah.
But you can, at any age, I guess, depending on who you are, you can fall behind and really never catch up without some attention.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, that so many, the really good teachers know that, and they're addressing that and doing a really good job of that. But if you don't find that hole, if you don't find that step that was missed, you're not, and especially with reading. And now, with the public school curriculums are so rigorous that if a child can't read, they can't do their math either. And they can't do their science, obviously. But anyway, I knew that had to be addressed, and that was the first thing that I did. So I'm really, really tickled. We have the best of the best science-based reading program, Connections. The authors are here in Jonesboro. It's a nationally recognized program, and we are offering that free of charge to the children with 2 certified teachers, and then the author, Cherry Frierson, of the curriculum comes in twice a week and works with the children in the most need. We do daily Bible lessons and scripture memory opportunities. We have some really great athletes in that building. And, my own children got to go to athletic training twice a week. And so our kids get that too. Jay Harris, who owns Elite Training here in Jonesboro, he was a City Youth kid growing up. And he has come in, I couldn't afford what the initial, cost was going to be. And I just said, Jay, listen, I can't do that. And he said, you know what? He said, Miss Denise, I ate because of City Youth. I rode my bike to City Youth every afternoon when I was in high school. Let me go back and look at those numbers. So due to his generosity, he came in at a price that we could afford. And our children get free athletic training.
Wow.
Really good. It's amazing. They're learning how to dribble. They're learning agility skills. They're learning how to listen and follow directions. They're learning to be coachable.
Right.
Right. And so I love that we're doing that. I also was very aware, having been in the classroom for so long, that children as young as kindergarten, pre-K, they're dealing with stress and anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so I knew that yoga was going to be a really great outlet for them. A dear friend of mine, Sanja Wheeler, who has her own yoga business here in town, comes and she provides yoga for our children once a week.
That is fabulous.
Yeah, it was great. They kind of stiff-armed it just a little bit, and then the older kids found out that Miss Sanja was doing yoga with the JHS basketball team and the girls volleyball teams, and then they were in. So we do yoga. We got a wonderful grant through the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame. That is a fine arts grant. I also am a fine arts person. I was a piano major in college, and I've been involved in music all my life. Everybody needs music. Every child needs a music outlet in their life. And so we applied for this grant, and we got money for percussion instruments. And so our kids get percussion lessons once a week. One of the most exciting things that we're doing through the United Way, I can't say enough about what the United Way has done for City Youth. Wonderful support for us. But Arkansas State and the United Way provided a grant for our children to get weekly violin lessons for free with Dr. Chi Young Song. He is one of the most acclaimed string instructors at A-State. Our children have brand new violins, and they got to play at the Fowler Center. in
Is that
December.
right?
Yeah, it was really, really neat. We have boys. We have boys in 5th and 6th grade that say, I want to do violin.
That's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then we also got a grant through the United Way in A-State that our kids get free art lessons with Shannon Smithy, who is with the Fowler Center on the A-State campus. She comes in once a week, provides free art lessons. We've been able to tour the Fowler Center. We're getting ready to go for our 2nd time to see different displays and exhibits that the Fowler Center has available. So they're getting percussion, violin, and art lessons for free in our building. We go to tennis. Again, it's just one of those like when you're at home. Today's tennis. Go get in the car. And that movement, that constant motion. But we through NEA Tennis, a nonprofit here in town, on Mondays, we load up about 10 or 12 kids and take them to the Earl Bell Center, and they get free tennis lessons. And they got at Christmas they gave those kids free tennis rackets, and some of them got brand new tennis shoes. And we've got some good tennis players.
Is that right?
Yeah, we've got some really good tennis players as well.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And then the other piece, having been in the public schools for so long, I knew, and raising 2 boys, I knew that there had to be an opportunity for them to work their willies out.
Yeah.
Run, play, talk, visit, the whole thing. And so one of the first things that I did was we had a back parking lot that was really, just full of just stuff. So we got rid of all the junk back there that we didn't need, and we've been working on turning that into a playground. And sure enough, Central Baptist Church gave us a ton of scooters, and Ridgefield Christian Academy gave us some tether balls and some picnic tables. An anonymous donor gave us 2 of the nicest basketball goals you can imagine. So we have a really fun playground that the kids can just go out on the days, when it's pretty, unload a little bit, play, do their thing, and then they're ready to come in and, do that daily Bible lesson and then go into those other rotations that I explained.
Very nice.
It's awesome.
Well, and one of my questions was going to be, what are your primary sources of funding? But and I'm sure that's still important. But it looks
huge.
like you've got a bunch of sources, not just funding, but volunteer contributions.
We do. I will tell you, I was a little bit surprised that City Youth had fallen off the radar of the community when I first came on board. And I was surprised by that, but I will tell you, we had a grand reopening. We have a new logo. We've kind of rebranded, who we are, because the program has been completely reworked. And due to that, and due to the community outreach, the Jonesboro community is responding in a really amazing way, and really in a miraculous way. We were kind of just a little bit off the radar. But getting the word out, opportunities like you're providing us today, people are hearing and seeing, and they are responding with so much compassion and generosity that we are able to provide those opportunities. Lots of those things that I shared, those are through grant funding. The deficit that City Youth really is still dealing with the public help and business help is just those daily operational costs. Those are the big deal, for us. We have these wonderful opportunities available, but if we can't pay our electric bill or if we can't pay for those 4 vans, it doesn't happen.
Right.
So the community is responding to those needs, and we are just so thankful.
Well, let's take a minute to tell how to donate and how to get involved with City Youth Ministries.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the people want to be a part of it, and people do care in Jonesboro. We've seen that.
They do. The restoration and now the sustaining of what we've done is huge. It's pivotal that we sustain City Youth so that 15 years from now, 20 years from now, that place is still thriving and providing these services. So first thing that's the easiest is, if you go to our City Youth Facebook page, you do need to make sure that it's City Youth, one word. There are some similar nonprofits that are very close to City Youth Ministries. They look like ours, and but ours, the key to knowing it's us is that our City Youth is capital C, capital Y, one word. There's no space. City Youth Ministries, and make sure that you see that. You can go to that on Facebook. We have a donate button there where you can donate through PayPal. And we've been blessed with a lot of people using that as an avenue to give. Another way is easy, our post office box. We no longer use our street mailing address. We have post office box 627, Jonesboro 72403. Lots of great people just put, donations in the mail. We're always in the building between 10 and 6. Monday through Thursday. If there is someone that wants to come donate anything other than cash, we have, oh my goodness, we have so many sweet restaurant owners that come in with food and donations and things like that, and the kids love it. So tangible, large objects that can be donated are just easily brought, to the building. But I will also plug. We have Queens of the Hardwoods coming up. Until I took the job at City Youth, I didn't realize it was a City Youth fundraiser. But Queens is a scrimmage between senior girl volleyball players within Northeast Arkansas. Craig Cummings, who's the JHS volleyball coach, he's organized it for years. And that is a fundraiser that we have coming up in about 3 weeks.
What's the date of it?
It's going to be April the 13th.
April 13th.
And we have, at the Valley View High School Gymnasium this year. In the past, we've been at JHS. This year, we're at Valley View. Coach McKee is really sweet to help us, this year with that. Miss Arkansas, Maggie Benton, is going to actually crown the first ever real live Queen of the Hardwood.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that'll be fun. Maggie is
great.
going to be there and crown it. But that's a huge fundraiser. If people wanted to come out, good volleyball. Amazing volleyball. The other thing that I really am thankful for, I had 6 months, I think, my first little tenure there at City Youth to put together the Best Under the Sun, Jonesboro Sun City Youth Banquet on the ASU campus. David Massesso and Kevin Tuberville were kind enough to lend us their athlete names. For years, they've named Best Under the Sun in different athletic categories, and they were kind enough to let City Youth piggyback off of those names, and we do a banquet.
They're good city partners, aren't they?
Yes, awesome. So thankful. And so we had it at the Convo last year, had 560 people. And this year we're at the Convo again. We're hoping to increase that. But we honor the athletes and the coaches. We have motivational speakers. This year, Dr. Fitzhill is going to be our keynote speaker, and I'm super excited about that. And then one of our local sports celebrities, Steve Cox, is going to help us with a little bit of a surprise for a young man.
Is that right?
Yeah, really excited about that. But that is, businesses, parents, grandparents, they could really support City Youth by participating, buying a table. There are different levels of sponsorships. They can easily contact me on my email, Denise, DENISECYM21 We can send them all of the information they need, or they can call our City Youth number 932-9398 to participate in that. But downtown J-Town 5K, Don Layer at Families Inc., they support that. Wonderful opportunity to raise money. So those are ways, that you can volunteer. We need help, we need help putting those fundraisers on, and obviously we need them. We need them to be lucrative fundraisers for City Youth.
Yes, you do. And now you've been there 2 years or so think about, if you can, tell us why. Think of a student or a child, if you can, and tell us a success story.
You're gonna make me cry. You know what? I have a recent one that's on my heart. Again, as a school teacher, you fall in love with children and you don't teach school, and I was that teacher that would consistently have my entire class on my mind and think, this one needs this and this one needs that, and they become your children. Well, I've got about 115 new children now, and there's a little girl that she suffers from pretty acute anxiety. She's a third grader. I taught third grade for 9 years. And so, you know, I have a connection there. But she came in after school several times crying, really upset. And she was upset because she knew she was struggling academically. And so I pulled her aside. Third grade, we got this. Come on over here, let's look at this and see. And she really struggles with reading. She really struggles with her homework. And she doesn't necessarily, perhaps, she doesn't necessarily have some support from even home, you know, that she would be the most helpful. Yeah.
Right.
And anyway, so a wonderful lady named Candy Hart, who is with the Red Cross. Candy Hart comes in and volunteers, and she and I, there was a vocabulary test that the little girl had. She couldn't read it. But we drew pictures, and we found ways to help her engage and connect with all of those words and all of those definitions. And we quizzed her, and we worked with her, and we got her so ready for that test that the anxiety turned into a smile. And the dimples came out, and we were like, you are ready, let's go do this. And so normally she would come in, and we go through her backpack every day. We go through her backpack and let's see what you got, let's look at this. And sadly, you know, there weren't a lot of good grades, you know, coming out of that backpack. The day she came in with her test score from that vocabulary test, she had a 100.
Is that right?
She had a 100 on that thing. And we celebrated, and she was so happy. And that meant a lot to me. And it just, you know, nailed down what I already knew, that we've got a lot of kids that need specific needs met to understand the curriculum, to understand the preparation needed for an assessment. And if we can get more people in the building to volunteer and help, like Candy, she's so proud. She was texting me, have you heard from this little girl? What'd she make on the test? We were just like two mother hens, you know, just waiting to find out. But that mother hen is kind of what we need up there, the ones that really are invested in realizing that it's a confidence issue. If a child's spirit is already broken and they think they can't do it, it's going to be really hard to mend that and put them on that path. But every child can learn. Every single child can learn, as long as that need is met in the way that they learn best. And so that's what my objective is, as well as the spiritual piece, you know, at City Youth, to try to find ways to provide that.
That's right. That's fabulous. That's a wonderful charity, a wonderful group of people doing a lot of good work at City Youth Ministries. So, Denise Snider, thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Jonesboro.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor.